audio production, we deliver professional jingles, engaging voiceovers, and attention-grabbing radio promos that stand out from the crowd.
If you're in the podcasting world, we've got the ideal recording space for you. Our studio is designed to ensure pristine sound, making it the perfect place to bring your podcast to life.
But we don't stop at audio. Looking for a space to film your next big project? High Impact Studios offers customizable spaces for movie sets and video production,
giving you everything you need to create stunning visuals.
Whatever your vision, High Impact Studios is here to make it a reality.
Let's create something amazing together.
Hey, High Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
Who is the shortest basketball player in the world?
I like your curiosity. I'll tell you. Muggsy Bogues is the shortest player in the National Basketball Association history, listed at 5 feet 3 inches tall. He was drafted 12th overall by the Washington Bullets in 1987.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
I'm glad you asked.
Hey, High Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
Which club is the first to win Champions League?
That's very easy. Real Madrid. The first Champions League was won by Real Madrid during the 1955 and 1956 season.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
I've been curious. Who exactly is the youngest swimmer in the world?
Oh, I'll tell you. Alzin Tarek, age 10, is the youngest and fastest swimmer in World Championships history. Tarek has been swimming competitively since the age of 4.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm glad I wowed you.
Hey, High Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
Who is the fastest man in the world?
That's very simple. It's Usain Bolt. He is the fastest runner on the planet, setting the world record for the shortest 100 meters sprint time of 9.58 seconds.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
I just learned how to play chess, and I've been wondering what time is best to play chess.
I like to play chess too. Usually in the evening, but definitely before I'm too tired. My very best chess, of course, is generally played at the times when I am winning, unless my opponent just takes a bow.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm glad I wowed you.
From the greens of golf to the court of tennis and basketball, the octagon of UFC to the square room for boxing, track of Formula 1, and the pitch of football. Join the sports crew on Sport Hub 6 to 7 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays, Fridays 5 to 6 p.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturdays. Here on iImpact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Reviews, views, and interviews just the way you like it. Exclusive on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Sport Hub for all the updates and analysis.
This is Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM. For the best in sports entertainment, tune in to Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM.
Oh, what a feeling. Look what we've overcome. Oh, I'm gonna wave my flag and count all the reasons we are the champions. There ain't no turning back. Saying, oh, can't you taste the feeling? Saying, oh, we all together singing. Look how far we come.
Lovely Friday evening right here in the industrial city of Lagos, and I'm welcoming you to the Sports Hub show on your number one urban lifestyle station, Impact Radio 102.1 FM, the first edition of the show for the month of November. And today is the first day of November 2024. We're super grateful to the man up there referencing him for the gift of life for keeping us till this minute. Of course, if you look at it keenly right now, we have less than some 60 days before we call it a wrap on the year 2024. What are we not going to be grateful for? It's been a whole lot of happenings all around us. Talk about the country Nigeria. Some people say if you are not going through something has to be going through you. And then we are here standing strong. I want you to know one thing and one thing for sure, that right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, we'll always be here to hold your hands. I'll be going through everything together. Welcome to the show this evening. Adija Ajiboye is my name. Such an honor to be your host on the show. On the show this evening, we're taking a look at all of the issues as regarding the world of football, because on Fridays we do just football, preaching the gospel to you for 60 minutes. All of the in-swingers, all of the lancer passes, and I tell you, no incursion in my half, because I've got men who will be manning my defense and also my midfield line. They've just signed a new midfielder as a manager a couple of hours ago. We'll talk about that in the course of the show. And in the English Premier League, we'll look to see whether there will be any Saints at the St. James Park this weekend, because Arsenal will be going to the St. James Park, and for Manchester United, are they going to be able to cage the high-flying Blues? Well, some people are already asking, where is our winger? Where is our sweet Sancho? We don't know where he is right now. The last 3 matches he's not been able to play, but we are still looking forward to see what Chelsea will be building up this week. What about the Nigerian Premier Football League as well? 2 teams still remain unbeaten, and then last week they played against each other. They played at a 1-1 draw. These 2 sides again, we'll be looking forward to see how their matches this weekend will look to, because Ekanemi will be playing at home, while Rivers United will also travel away from. We'll talk about all of this in the course of the show. This is welcome on board, and it's such an honor to have you join us. With me in the studio, I've got my able men, who together will be doing justice to all of the hot topics this evening. From my from my right hand, this man, I just want you to make heaven, of course. So Warit, welcome to Sports Up this evening.
Good evening, DJ, and Apple no more all our distance. Another weekend is here, and this month there are a lot of sporting activities talking about. If you are looking at here in Nigeria, we have the Chan Eagles who are going to be playing their qualifiers. We also have the Super Eagles who are, after 2 weeks' time, they are going to be here on international break, and there is no way to enjoy this more than having a lot of actions in the world of sport, talking about the F1, NBA, and the rest.
Well, the F1 NBA, we'll move that to tomorrow, because so much to talk about. People are already asking, what is happening with LeBron James? Is it declining already, or is just more of saying it's still a new season, let's give him some time? We'll talk about that on the show. Adeni Obafemi Falana, welcome to Sport Hub.
Well, it's another exciting episode, today, and I trust that our viewers will enjoy themselves for the next 45 to 50 minutes, at thereabout. There's a lot to talk about. In Manchester United, I saw a graphic where they said a new era has begun.
Yeah. Well, Eric Ten Hag told us that too.
Eric
Ten Hag wants to put an end to eras.
But my own career and I end for Manchester United. But this weekend, we are going to be witnessing interesting games. The month of November, I think we are getting into the business, side of the season right now. November, December, January, February, March, and April. Thereabout. And we have the international break, just like Warit said, coming up. I can't wait for the international break to just end, so we can just. We can just put our mind.
I mean, after this month now, we have December, January, February. Then we'll be back for international break by March.
So I can't wait for that to happen. Also, the Formula One is starting. We're having another Formula One, Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Also, a tennis still ongoing. The NBA, so football, other sport. There's always something to talk about, and I'm super excited for the weekend.
Of course, we're super excited for the weekend because a couple of blockbuster matches. I call them blockbuster because it's more like you going to see a movie this time around, and that's the feeling that every football fan will be having. Let's start from the home front this evening. During the course of the week, we saw the Flying Eagles once again retain a title that is already familiar, or that they are familiar with, and that's talking about the WAFUB Under 20 Championship with the AFCON 2025 tickets already in the bag. Coach Aliu Zubair, against all odds, was able to do it, and I mentioned to you on the Sports in a Jiffy yesterday. I was trying to tell you that, a couple of names are flying around. Talk about the Sporting Lagos Academy goalkeeper Akot Ebenezer, and also the striker Parabo Arieri, who got the brace in the finals of that game. But for Coach Ali Zubel, looks like a square peg in the square hole for the Flying Eagles.
Yeah, for so long we've been crying out for that. In our sports, that is what we've been crying out for. It's the person that can do the job let's put him there. Don't let us use politics or man no man or party no party to put someone in a political position in a position rather. And he qualified the academy to the NPFL this season. Won the FA Cup that we call the President Federations Cup. Unbeaten in 9 games in the NPFL. Even when I thought the last 2 games, I thought, okay, this is the end of the unbeaten games against Kwara United. Their rescheduled game.
Yeah, they drew 1-1
last week.
Yeah,
they drew 1-1.
Yeah.
Warit, called me that bro. Now draw that game later, and I said, "I draw." So and we said, "Okay, don't worry. They are playing against Rivers United. Rivers United should be able to beat them."
The same time they scored against Kwara United was the same time they scored against Rivers United.
And the funny thing is that I think they had a man down for like 45 minutes of that game, but somehow they were able to hold their own against Rivers United, and it shows you that the coach might not be there physically because of the Wafu B tournament, but he has instilled his philosophy into the players. He has instilled the philosophy into his backroom staffs, and they were able to transmit that to the boys also on the field of play. So kudos to him, and I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing for those that have been clamoring for local coaches, home-based coaches, to take charge of things, in our football. I think now they can say that yes, this is why we've been clamoring for these indigenous coaches, for our football. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Another feather has been added to his cap, by winning.
Of course,
the tournament.
It's giving other indigenous coaches an edge right now to say that it's not just about people you already know. Let's give other people a chance to have a go at it. And yes, I'm talking about giving other people a chance to go at it. For the first time in a very long time, I'm not sorry to use this word, we are seeing our football getting serious or being serious.
Yes, we needed to do that because at the first game at this WAFB tournament, after we lost against Burkina Faso, we were kind of skeptical about how this team were not going to replicate what they did in Niger. But after that loss, the setback they had against Burkina Faso, they were able to puzzle out some wins against the likes of the Côte d'Ivoire national team,
Niger as well,
and also the Ghana under 20. And at the end of the day, like he reported, the coach talking about Alice Bay reported something that what is happening at Ekalemo is just actually a structure, and that should show that a manager who already has a pattern of play, a kind of system, and it's just easy to fit in. Look at the people that you mentioned, talking about the goalkeeper Akot. He made a beautiful save against the Ghana national team, and this is what we want. This is just one step we have taken, and the next step is talking about the AFCON that's going to happen, the World Cup that's going to happen next year.
Okay,
and
Chile.
After that,
they don't even know who is going to be hosting the tournament yet.
You see, this is one of the issues I have with CAF. We are supposed to be planning things like this ahead, but you know that here in Africa, we just do
just the watch.
We don't know where we are hosting, but we know the teams that are qualified.
Now Morocco, just the watch, just the watch. Now Morocco, just the watch.
So, but for Ali Zubeiru, this is a massive plus for him. With what he has achieved, the caliber now having an opportunity with one of the national teams, winning the WAFU B. Hopefully, we are able to, because the main aim at the end of the day is to qualify for the World Cup, and we should be able to participate when we get to that particular competition.
Away from the under-20 boys, now let's talk about the under-23, the Chan Eagles. That was where I was going to point at the other time when I mentioned that for a very long time, and in a long time, we are seeing the NFF being serious about something. I mean, it does not happen often that before a major tournament or a competition, you are having the maybe the Super Eagles or any age grade come together and have at least a pre-training before the commencement of the tournament, and that is what we saw with the Chan Eagles. They had their first training session together. That is still a large number though, 35 man squad trained together at the Go Project in Abuja in the preparation for the game against our Charlie brothers, or should I say our Ghanaian brothers, come December. This match is still in December, and of course the camp is already open by now. Next month as well, there's going to be another week off for these boys to get together to train as well under the mentorship, or should I say the tutelage of the likes of Daniel Gumodede and also Fidelis Elechuku, with Austin Egwevon supervising that. Just like I mentioned, good thing happening in the NFF at this point.
Yes, this is actually a new thing, because we don't
have
to. This is not the usual.
You said, you not new to you.
This is not the usual with anytime it comes to international teams, especially when it comes to the own basic groups. I can remember the last time under Salisu Yusuf, where we were about to play the Black Galaxies during the same particular competition, where we were planning to qualify for the Chan tournament.
Yeah,
I think it was 2 weeks. We packed, I think, 35 to 40 players to come and train,
and then we started
for that particular tournament. But this time, things have changed. There's a new sheriff in town talking about the coach Austin Eguabo, who is going to be supervising this particular season. But I like what I'm seeing. When you have early preparation, then you have planned ahead. Look at it. They say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And this time around, I think we are doing the needful, making it 35 players. And we know that these 35 players are not the particular team.
Yeah,
the best out of the
we'll still be trimmed to 23 at least.
And with the players we are having in the APFA, now the APFA, we are having good number of games. Look at what we are in the time pass. Most of these games will not be played. No tentative date at the particular of the start of the season. Now, see, there are a lot of things changing.
I mean, these days, from a Monday or from a Sunday, you already see fans sending messages like, "Where is the fixture for the weekend, for the midweek?" People are eager to see what's going to happen next.
It is what we've always been talking about, and I hope our club side also benefits from this a lot. So that by the time we start playing on the continent, if we are playing consistently, teams will have built up fitness. Teams will have build up the momentum, so whenever they go to the continent, they don't get left behind. I won't be surprised if Enyimba is the only team we have in the continent.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if they perform very well in the CAF Confederation Cup, because they played enough games together, so they should be able to get a grip of themselves. And I think that is also going to help us talking about the Chan tournament, because now we have a functioning league. It's not that the league is playing today, they are going on a break for 2-3 days. They don't know when the next fixtures will come out. We don't know who is going to play who, and that leaves room for corruption, because that leaves room for match fixing for those in charge of their club side. But I like the fact that the league is on. We are seeing the league, we are seeing players. I mean, you can point that, okay, this guy that was called or that is being called is a very good player. I mean, I've always been talking about Sadiq Ismail. It's because I see Raymond Stars game, and I know that this guy is very good. We saw Amas, the goalkeeper for Bender Insurance, and when he was called up to the senior national team of the Super Eagles, people celebrated because they see him every day. We see, Biden at Bender Insurance. We know what Sikiru Alimi is doing with Raymond Stars right now. We know what Junior, the name beats me now.
Junior Nduka of Raymond Stars.
Nduka Junior of Raymond Stars. We can see what he's doing with Raymond Stars and a couple of other players.
There's Anna Shishu with Nasarawa United.
You can see what they are doing.
There's Kazim Ogoleye with Enugu Rangers.
So even the Ikorodu City guy, Toib Gidad, that was called up. I thought the left back for Ikorodu City would be called, by the way. That left back, he plays good football. The left back for Ikorodu City.
I mean, even Augustine Eguavoen, when he was being quizzed by pressmen about the what he saw in the players, and his own statement was that it was very impressive. Only 2 sessions, and he is able to tell that these boys are actually up to something. So yes, we're looking forward to the betterment of the league. Talking about the betterment of the league, guys, something has been in the more like rumors for a couple of days now, and it's been said that this company that is televising our league, they're saying that they want to withdraw. They signed a 5-year contract, but this is just a year and some months, because this is the second season and we are into match day 10, which is, we have not even played half of this season, and then we are hearing that they want to pull out
after the season, right? They want to pull out after this, or do they want to pull out with immediate effect?
I mean, a couple of matches this last weekend, they did not televise some matches,
so it must have been a break. Someone somewhere might have broken the agreement. We don't, and that's the thing with our football again. Most of the deals they signed is always shrouded in mystery
from back doors.
We don't know what.
No full details about.
No full details. The Premier League now, we know. Me and you, we can go online, even if we don't have the figures in our head. We know that the Premier League, this season, the amount they are selling the TV rights in the Premier League is so billion pounds. If it's 5 billion pounds. We know that it is 5 billion pounds are selling it. Tax, so government collect their own. This one collect their own. What is coming down to the entire Premier League club? We know that this is the amount every 20 club in the Premier League is taking. As a starting, 50% of whatever they are getting is shared equally. Then the remaining 50, they share 25% based on your table standings. Then they share the remaining 25% based on how well people watch your games. Yeah. So imagine something like that. So somebody cannot just come out tomorrow and say, I paid Warit 10 million to show me a game. Warit to say, no, you paid me 3 million or 4 million. And at the end of the day, it is the ground that will suffer if two elephants are fighting. So right now, we are happy that we can see our league on TV. Now they are pulling out. Yeah. Who is going to come in now for them mid-season? Now this I trust that they know what they are doing, Sha. I trust that they know what they are doing.
Just to add, when this deal was signed between both parties,
it was a 1 billion 5-year contract,
deal, and they said over time. I think it's for 5 years.
Yeah, and then they were extended by 3 years.
Kind of consistency. According to what I heard, they said that the broadcasting company said they're having issue with the camera stand, talking about
at the stadium,
because most of the stadiums are not up to standard. Lower space reality.
And that is why of the 20 teams, they are only televising for like 10 stadiums or 11, if I'm not mistaken.
They are still complaining about all those
because of the angles.
And yeah, exactly. And there's also the issue of MPFL board with scheduling games. The last broadcasting company, that's the popular one we know. Yeah. We're also complaining about this particular thing. There are sometimes that we already know that this game we have to do in the weekend. A lot of the sudden,
they move it to like a Monday or to Sunday.
And there are already plans ahead that we are going to stay in this particular state for just a day. And when you add, that's other expenses. And I think that both parties should find a level playing ground and agree, because that 5-year deal is going to big money. And us having issue with not watching a game where we are already starting that we are having opportunity to see most of
the games. And
don't forget that the FPFA also stopped teams from streaming their matches because of
live streaming, because of yes
exactly.
So all these things they have.
So if they stop the deal now, or they stop this collaboration now, it means that we'll be going back to square one.
That is it. And the players that we are seeing now,
we'll see them again. Because that is the joy. That is why, I mean, for a lot of fans, first thing they look out for is which of these games are going to be on television.
Now that is what fans look out for. From the people
who are at the stadium, which is really not good for the game that we want to progress.
Imagine Remo Stars versus Remo Stars don't do Ojoro. You know, not that other clubs do Ojoro. Just imagine the game between Enyimba and wasn't Enyimba and Rangers
last season, the last game of the season. Yeah. Imagine it was not on television.
Okay. I wanted to switch that one now. Imagine say no TV.
Yeah.
And you know they come award Enyimba penalty.
Yeah.
Rangers consider and do Ojoro for them.
Yeah.
I want to see Ojoro. Now coaches referees are being banned.
Yeah.
Exactly. Referees are being suspended.
Teams are even being fined. Just last week, Kano players were fined. Enyimba were fined. Okay. 1 million each.
Imagine say we know CTV or people know see how we want to verify say truly that referee made a bad call. How do we want to verify that truly referee made a bad call? How do we want to verify that one chairman of a club enter pitch with gun for a hand? How we want to verify?
Yeah.
So, but I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how they're going to do it.
We are going back to square one as it stands. We are going back to where we don't want.
Well, hopefully they are able to. It's been said that there's going to be a meeting between them. So we hope that they sit down together and come back and then iron out all of these, discrepancies and get a way forward, especially for the stakeholders that are involved in this. Away from that talks right now, let's now go into the fixtures for the match day 10 of the MPFL. As I mentioned to you, that two teams currently are still unbeaten in the Nigerian Premier Football League. That's talking about Rivers United, who are top of the log right now with 21 points from 9 games, and also El Kanemi Warriors, who are 6th on the log with 13 points. But guys, I mean, Abia Warriors, they've had some form of resurgence right now. They've won their last 2 games in the MPFL, and this weekend as well, they'll be playing at home at the Uyo Township Stadium. They'll be hosting the Nazi Millionaires. That's talking about Atland FC of Owerri. Atland are not too convincing still this season, but then they are 16th on the log. Let's start from that game. One particular about this game is because how is Abia Warriors able to do it when Aqua United are not doing nothing?
Aqua United are those two teams are separate because they have their own issues. Because Aqua United last season, it was by 3 points they escaped relegation. But this time around, I saw Abia was last time out. They went away from home, defeated Bendel Insurance by 1 goal to nil.
That is why Bendel Insurance are now under fire by their sponsors.
Exactly. And for Atlant also got a win during the weekend. But for that's talking about the coach. I've forgotten his name. Talking about the ex-Super Eagles coach.
Amunike.
Yeah. He has he's finding a way with this Atlanta
to get them together.
But
they're now 16 on the log.
Emmanuel Amakpakabo, looking at this is an opportunity. I'm facing not a top side, not a power when it comes to the NPFL. And I can start an opportunity to play at home to get it. But on the other hand, you know that this season we have seen a couple of away wins. One of the away wins we saw last weekend came from Abia Warriors. At this time, I thought we also say that he can start the chance of getting an away win, but it's going to be difficult for them. But I'm still giving it to Abia Warriors.
Yeah, I get your point, but I don't think Atlanta have enough to beat, Aqua United.
Abia Warriors.
Abia Warriors, I beg your pardon. Atlanta don't have enough to beat them. Abia Warriors, Atlanta, one of the struggling teams, in the NPFL this season. They are 16th on the table, right?
Yeah.
Expect them to get back into the relegation battle again, because my smart money is on Ikorodu City finally ended the unbeaten run of Rivers United. That is my smart money. At least,
that's a huge pick from you.
It might be huge, but then again, we know Ikorodu City, they are a different beast,
when they play at home.
When they play at home, even
when
they play away from home, they are a difficult team to play against. The problem they have is taking their chances. That is what they have, away from home. That is the problem they have. They create chances. I think we have something called Uptown Nigeria. Maybe people will know. I think our football game is something that is very, very lucrative. People will definitely go to wherever Ikorodu City they are playing their game and serve us, content statistics. But if you look at it from what I've seen so far, from the eye test, from their own games, I can see that they create a lot of chances. But scoring has been their problem. I think the highest goal scorer this season is 2 goals. Which is a very, very terrible thing in 9 games.
But that, I think it was at the start of the season. If you are looking at the last 3 games,
they've played a 3-0 win.
They scored 4 against Lobby Stars, scored 3 against Bendel Insurance. Bendel Insurance, we know that they are kind of compact. But one thing is
Bendel Insurance are terrible this season.
But one thing
very
is
terrible
that
this season.
Immediately after they made the announcement of the coaching crew taking over in terms of on an interim basis, we saw them lose their first game against Eyimba. I know that it was an away game, but at the same time, Rivers United
they almost drew that game,
They almost drew that game. Eyimba to
inexperience.
But Rivers United looking at this game that this is an opportunity of
extending their beating.
Exactly, because we have to face the reality. Ikorodu City are the babies when it comes to the NPFL, and they are one of the weaker sides when it comes to it. Well,
sure.
This is an opportunity for the new coaching crew to make a statement that we are not here to joke against Rivers United. We saw Ekalemi go away from home to get a draw and playing at home here in Lagos.
And I'm not sure Rivers United will want to once again drop a point this time around.
It is possible. They are playing away from home. We know teams are picking points away from home. Yeah, we know that. But then again, they are playing away from home this time around against Ikorodu City. The Lagos noise, we definitely should count for something for Ikorodu City. They should be able to win this game. They should be able to win.
Okay, away from that now, let's talk about the Battle of Stars. That is Remo Stars at the Ikene Stadium will be hosting Lobby Stars. Lobby Stars under Daniel Amokichi. Of course, they've been able to win just 2 games since they took charge. Their last game was against Bayelsa United where they won 2-1. And then hopefully they'll be able to defeat Remo Stars at home.
Daniel Gumodade
versus Daniel Amokachi. Battle of Daniels.
Daniel Devi.
Remo Stars versus Lobby Stars.
Yeah,
one star will have to be deemed for the other one. And Remo Stars a beast at home. They are a beast at home. The best of the best. They've come there in the Nigerian League and collect. It is constant. Remo Stars have made their home ground a fortress for them. So it's a constant thing, and I'm not expecting anything different this time around from Remo Stars. They should be able to get the better of Lobby Stars, of all team to even struggle against Lobby Stars. Yeah. If not to grind out 1-0 win, they will grind them out.
Just to add, he pointed out Remo Stars are a fortress at home, and why community this? I made a research. The last time they dropped a point when it comes to playing at the Ikene Stadium was last season, and that was a goalless draw against Doma United. And since that, we played out of 19 games we played at home. We were able to get maximum points in 18 to show how good they are at home. And the last time they lost an MPFL game at home was far back as May 2022 against Calopilas 3-1 to show that it's this team.
It's a fortress.
The Kenneth Stadium is a fortress. At home, they are good and it's quite difficult. So it's a difficult task for that. Daniel Amokachi. This game is played 90 minutes, but on paper as it stands, Remo Stars are favourites. But Remo Stars, if you're looking at the last 5 games, they have lost 3, and those 3 have come away from home. I think that looking at the game Rivers United had last weekend against Academy Warriors, they'll be quite happy with the results because assuming Rivers United have won that game, it should have created a large gap between like a 5-point gap. Now they'll be hoping that Rivers United should lose this weekend, and if they get a win, they could actually top or be on the same point with Rivers United. They'll be on the same point with Rivers United, and maybe a goal difference will kind of separate both teams, and it should not create a large gap because as it stands, Rivers United, Remo Stars has to remove that mentality of bottling the league. This is their season to actually challenge Rivers United and also
just like it's the season of Arsenal too. Well, someone threw a shade at Arsenal
that cannot go.
And said Arsenal is like a popular streaming platform. There's always, a next time. You always want to come back sometime again. We're still talking about Nigerian Premier Football League right now.
No wala.
Bendel Insurance.
No, you can fly. The other can fly. No wala. When I don't sign new coach, so when I don't add flesh. No wala.
Bendel Insurance.
No wala.
They've not been able to, get their mojo as we know them to be. They travel to the Dinner Stadium right there in Ondo State to play against Sunshine Stars. I'm not sure it's something that will be so good for them because Sunshine Stars are currently 7th on the log, while Bendel Insurance are now 15th on the log. Won and win in their last 5 matches. Monday Odege, we don't know what happened. Looks like things are not just going all too well in the camp of Bendel Insurance this time around.
If you like yourself, know the kind of question where you go ask Mr. Monday. But then again, that is what we live for. Controversy, anger, excitement, joy. At some point we were enjoying Daniel Gumodede and Fidelis Lechuku. Both of them making fun of themselves. That is what the league is all about. We just want that, that rivalry between players also. We've seen with coaches, we want with players, but we've seen with journalists and coaches and managers. Don't ask me that question. Why are you asking me that question?
Of course, it's not just happening here too. We know a couple of journalists in Europe. Eric Ten Hag had to ban a particular journalist from coming to his press conference.
You know what we have to do? I don't know why FFA. They have to create a context with this kind of manager.
Exactly.
Eric had to ban that. Anytime he's coming for his press conference, they will not allow that guy to come in.
I've watched this guy after a match. That's his post-match conference. I could remember the game at the continent. Why they were at the continent? He lost or drew that game, and he said that football is only about participation. That you guys should not disturb me with the result. At least in the participate for this particular tournament.
Then it means that they are doing something. Well, Enugu Rangers will be hosting Nasarawa United, another side to look forward to. Kabiru Dogo and also their playmaker, who is the highest goal scorer of the league this season. That's talking about Anas Yusuf. He scored 2 hat-tricks already in 10 matches. Amazing feat by the youngster right there. Kano Pillars will be hosting Plateau United. Bayelsa United will be hosting Eyimba, the Samson Siasia Stadium. And then we've also talked about Niger Tornadoes will be hosting Shooting Stars to complete the matches that we played in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Well, this weekend it's been said that all of the matches will be played on Sunday. So yes, we look forward to see what is going to happen in the coming days in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Developing stories, by the way, talking about the television rights we mentioned to. We hope that this is resolved because this is just going to be like some daunting to the morale that the fans are having for the league already. Anyway, from the home front right now, don't forget this is the Sports Talk Show on Impact Radio 102.1 FM. We're streaming live on our Facebook fan page at Impact Radio 102.1 FM. We're live on YouTube at Impact 102.1 FM. Subscribe to that channel, turn on post notification so you can be the first to know whenever we're live. We're live on X, which is formerly Twitter, at Impact 102.1 FM. You can be a part of the show this evening. Let us get interactive together. 0700 1021 1021 0700 1021 1021. You can send us your message on WhatsApp, maybe a regular text message 0907 224 5018.
We still got a long way
And away from the home front right now, let's go straight into Europe. Let's start with us coming through from let's take reactions from what happened during the course of the midweek, and that's talking about the EFL Cup. Some will call it the Carabao Cup. People still call it the former name of the Carling Cup too. Yeah. That's just like Nigerians Premier.
It's very difficult. Cup. It's very difficult to remove something from Nigerians' mouth. Over there in the UK, I'm very sure people they've changed. I mean, they moved from EFL to Carabao Cup because they are the sponsors of the EFL Cup. But somehow here in Nigeria, people still call it Carling Cup. And that's the funny thing about Nigeria. Up to tomorrow, they still call NEPA. Now you know whether na PSN. Now NEPA they still they call out. So that's one thing about Nigeria. But we had a very, very interesting midweek games, in the Carabao Cup, just like you said. Brighton losing at home to Liverpool. United, starting
winning against Leicester City.
The post Eric Ten Hag era with a win against Leicester City. I hope they've not scored all the goals they're supposed to score in the next two games against Leicester City, because same thing happened. Same thing happened against Barnsley and against Southampton.
They won 7-0.
Goals that United were supposed to share for like 3-4 games. They scored in one game. They were now scoring 1-1 goal like binary numbers. but that's by the way. But impressive victory regardless against a Premier League club. And of course you put up a tweet that was the first time United are scoring 3 first-half goals
since 2021.
Since 2021. And Eric Ten Hag really doing a strong team. It really. But it was an interesting midweek. Tottenham also beating Man City.
Manchester City.
I had to believe that it's Man City had qualified. Their quarterfinal, semi-final, they won't rest the players that they rested, against Tottenham Hotspur. But I think it backfired. But it is football.
The same way it backfired for Chelsea too. Yeah. Chelsea, Chelsea
don't mind them.
They are playing Team B.
I told them that Chelsea they were playing Team B in their conference league. And because all those guys now part-time footballers then be for conference league. Imagine playing against Noah FC. Noah I know is in the Bible. The one that built and they say they have Team B. Now they played against Newcastle United, a strong team.
I mean, I feel like Enzo Maresca was just the architect of his own downfall, because you played against this side the last match week in the English Premier League.
The only trophy if you win this season, you don't lose out.
But what you have to notice that Ten Hag anyways, because this kind of competition, and City has gone.
Yeah,
he will bring at least I'll carry another trophy, and that will be another
bragging right for him.
Another feather to his cap.
I mean, are you sad at the fact that he always wins the league cups and not the league itself?
See, winning cups are the first priority of the team. We know that. But there are some cups that when you win it, especially that Carling Cup, it's part of your major trophies if you win it.
Okay.
But Ten Hag does that. Cup games, you just like you just need 7 games, just one of 7 games.
Yeah,
and you win it. But we won't see progress. That kind of overshadow the progress of the team. Winning the cup games. But at least I think that journey is over. I know sleep Ten Hag where is. But for the likes of other teams, talking about Liverpool, Newcastle, and Tottenham quite surprised me, because with the run of games that
they really surprised me.
We have to look at this. This man he has told us at the beginning of the season
that his second season he wins trophy.
But hopefully, the way they are going, I think that he's having a shot at this particular competition.
Wait, Nano of it beats Ten Hag.
Well, they are playing against Manchester United in the next round.
Nano of it beats Ten Hag. Nano of it beats Ange.
And Tottenham.
We are going to it's going to be a difficult task. We have our new coach here. Hopefully we'll get our
all right, away from that now, because we're talking about Manchester United, let's quickly talk about the announcement that was made earlier today. It has now been pronounced that United have confirmed the appointment of Ruben Amorim as the new manager. He signed a contract at Old Trafford until 2027 with the option of an additional year held by the club. The 39-year-old will retire at the age of 32. Of course, had a couple of stints with the Portuguese national team. Played for a couple of teams in the Portuguese league as well. Talk about likes of Braga, where he eventually became a manager before he joined Sporting Lisbon. He only managed Braga for just a year. I'm not sure it was up to a year, by the way. And then his release clause was being triggered by Sporting. So this is the second time this guy's release clause is being triggered by another team.
Ruben Amorim is a very cheap man. Wow. I mean, Sporting CP triggered your release clause. Manchester United triggered the release clause. So that means he can be bought. He's a man that can be bought with money.
But they are saying that
he doesn't have values.
He preaches to people that you don't live like that. That is one of the reasons why Gyökeres could not leave.
He's a man that can be bought with money. That is why. I just hope that I hope
He likes.
I hope it doesn't work well for him at United.
Wow.
As a rival fan. But then again, if I'm going to be logical, if I'm going to be having,
this guy won Sporting Lisbon's
their first league title in 19 years.
I get your point. And then again, he won last season too.
I get your point. And United hasn't won a league since Alex Ferguson retired, right? That's like 2011, right? So let's see if he can do it. Same thing happened with Ten Hag. I asked, were the wilderness before Ten Hag took over, and he was able to knock out PSV and Feyenoord off the patch, and he won something. He came to United. We saw what happened with him at United. Once again, as a rival, I don't want Ruben Amorim to succeed at United. But as as a journalist, I have to be objective here, and I have to show sympathy to United fans. You guys have really, really suffered a lot. The only time United fans, have add flesh on their body is when we have international break, and they don't have to think about United. That thing they used to check BP, blood pressure, they've sold it out in market because United fans have bought it. But I mean, it's a good thing that Amorim is coming. Let's see if you can cut it, in the Premier League. The Premier League is a different ball game entirely, of course, to the Primeira Liga in Portugal. At least he should ask Erik ten Hag. He saw what happened to Erik ten Hag, and maybe you should ask him 1 or 2 questions. At least where someone failed, but this supposed to ask us, why did you fail? How did you fail? What did you do? What did you do wrong that I need to correct?
Well, people are talking about this guy, and they're talking about his type of coaching style, about his management as well, and calling him one of the prodigies of Jose Mourinho. It's also been said that Mourinho is one of the guys who has tipped him to go to Manchester United and go show the stuff he's made of. So yes. Okay.
Yes, for Ruben Amorim, and if you're looking at this thing, I like coaches that when a particular league is being dominated by 2 power teams. Talking about, if you're looking at that Portuguese league, it has been dominated in the time past by Benfica and Porto. All of a sudden, a certain manager came to another particular team and took over those 2 dominating teams. And we saw him. I saw it start with Sporting Lisbon. He played over 200 games and has 71.1%. This is quite similar to what Erik ten Hag did at Ajax. I think Erik ten Hag also had about over 70% winning rate at Ajax, but when it came to the Premier League, that's a different ball entirely, because the Premier League is the most competitive league when you are looking at the leagues in the world. And I hope Ruben Amorim, and what I have to put is Ineos. Look at the time pass when United were under the Glazers and Ed Woodward. We saw when Sir Alex Ferguson left, they brought a certain David Moyes, Moyes never worked. They brought in Louis van Gaal, and that's where I knew that these people were kind of amazing. You brought in the van Gaal who wants to play the tiki-taka, and immediately start him. What are you supposed to do? There's a particular system that's a particular manager brought. You're supposed to continue with that. With that system, you brought in a different manager in Jose Mourinho, who we know that he's a kind of defensive style of play.
Pack the boss.
He left Jose Mourinho, brought in a counter-attacking manager, talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and continue. Now we have seen an Ineos who want the pattern of play. The reason why they stick with Erik ten Hag was because they saw that pattern of play at
the fluidity in football.
Now they are beginning immediately after you sack the manager. In that past, when United sack manager, we don't know the particular manager that
come next.
But this time around, meant for the man. They thought that
the man of their hearts
that he will do the job. Hopefully, he pays United with the whole support they have given him.
All right, away from the United talks right now, we'll still go back to it when we want to talk about the matches that we played this weekend, because of course they've got a big game ahead of them. But then it's still going to be Ruud van Nistelrooy who will be in charge of the next 3 matches. Of course, for Ruben Amorim as well, he's also going to be in charge of Sporting Lisbon, even for their game against Manchester City come next week Tuesday. I feel this is going to be like a major test for him to show the stuff he's made of to the whole wide world. Now let's talk about games that we played this weekend. Let's start from the English Premier League, where Arsenal will be traveling to the St. James Park. Guys,
well, it's normally it should be a difficult game, for Arsenal at the St. James Park, because what happened last season is still fresh, and the feeling that we are getting is that just maybe Martin Odegaard, will be fit to play this particular game. I don't know why Arteta is not trusting Ethan Nwaneri to start games
in the English Premier League, in the league.
But then again, almost all Arsenal players are back. Gabriel should be able to play. Saliba is back from his suspension. Ben White is available. Jurgen Timber is available. Zinchenko is available, even though he won't play, but he's available. And also the attacking lineup, they are also available. Saka is back scoring. We saw that wonderful goal he scored against Liverpool. I don't know how they were able to keep it secret.
Becoming the 50th.
Yeah, I don't know how they were able to keep it secret. Saka being fit for that particular game. How they did it, I don't know. But they did a very good job, with that. Declan Rice is also available. Mikel Merino scoring his first goal for Arsenal. And I think he would want to kick on, from there. Thomas Partey also playing some of the best football that I have witnessed him play, for Arsenal. So it's shaping up to be a very, very entertaining one. Early kickoff can be a bit tricky, for top side. And I think the same Newcastle were Man City to a draw early kickoff about two games ago. So it's going to be an interesting.
But don't forget that if you take a look at the head-to-head, Newcastle have won 2 of their last Premier League home games against Arsenal.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. So it is possible they can get. It's possible for them to get maximum points in this particular encounter. Yes. It is very, very possible.
For Arsenal, these are the games that if they stand a chance of winning the Premier League, or in their own mind, they believe that they are deluded. They want to win the Premier League. If they want to win the Premier League, these are the matches that
you have to win it.
You have to. It's a must.
There's no excuse.
Arsenal side.
Is it your fault?
And I think that Arsenal.
It's not your fault now.
I think Arsenal fans or Arsenal team, looking at the past 3 seasons, I think they are kind of learned their mistakes, like from previous seasons.
We learn every day.
I think it was last 3 seasons they were able to learn their lesson from those particular 2 seasons ago, and now this season. The game against Aston Villa was one game that Arsenal lost home and away last season, and this season we saw a kind of Arsenal team in that particular game. They were able to win that game by 2-0. Even though Newcastle in recent time, I saw it start. The commentator said they start last year that Newcastle has only scored 1 open play goal in the last 1 month, which is quite bad in the kind of one of games they have. But Arsenal, if they have to make a statement and want to challenge for the title, this is a game they have to win.
Okay, we hope that they are able to get a win in this game. It's also been said that Mikel Arteta has won 7 games as Arsenal manager against Newcastle United, only bettered by his 8 victories that is ad versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Away from the game between Arsenal right now, let's go straight into other matches in the English Premier League. AFC Bournemouth will be at the Vitality Stadium and they will be hosting Manchester City. Bournemouth, by the way, one team that's always been giving all of the big sides a big problem, where it's been said that Kepa Balaga, Dango Utara, and also Luis Sinisterra ruled out of the visit of Manchester City come tomorrow. Pep Guardiola has also said yesterday that he has many doubts over the player availability, unless of Manuel Akanji, Josko Gavido, Savinho are all ruled out. Talk about the likes of Rodri, Oscar Bob, De Bruyne, Kai Walker, Jeremy Doku, Jack Grealish are still sidelined. So as it is right now, looks like City only has 13 first team players available.
For Pep Guardiola, we have seen in time past that he brings in some of these academy players and put them on the bench. But at the same time, we have seen Guardiola, when he knows that he's going to play a particular game, the starting 11 kind of start the game and also finish the game, except there's a kind of issue during the game. And we are this Man City team, they haven't entered gear 2, they are still in gear 1. And the way they are, anytime Man City tops the table, is hard for anything.
Well, as it is right now, City are on an unbeaten run. Don't forget,
unbeaten run. And if you are looking at the games that are playing against the Bournemouth side, they have had good records when it comes to the playing at the Vitality Stadium.
Of course, I think they've defeated Burnley in 21 matches now.
Bournemouth 21 matches.
I mean, that's a Bournemouth.
I think for Pep Guardiola, we have seen the last 2 games between them and Wolves. They have to salvage a win against Southampton. Just won that game by 0-0, and now against a kind of defensive side. Talking about the head coach, I forgot the head coach name, Bournemouth.
Bournemouth,
yes, okay. Who loves this modern style of play, and hopefully I think it's going to be an interesting encounter. But I was giving it to Man City because they will look for a way to actually get the maximum points at the Vitality Stadium.
Okay, I mean, their head coaches are Andoni Iraola. Yeah, another Spaniard right there who is looking to create a name for himself in the English Premier League. Away from that now, a couple matches in the English Premier League. Liverpool will be at the Anfield Stadium where Brighton and Hove Albion will be visiting them. West Ham will travel to the City Ground where they play against Nottingham Forest. Southampton will be at St Mary's when Everton will be visiting. We hope that Shundaj as well will be able to grind out a win against struggling Southampton. For Southampton though, themselves and their manager, we don't know exactly what is happening right now. Looks like they are destined to relegate. I'm sorry to say that though, but I feel like that is what's happening to this team.
You know when the team wants to relegate, and I think that Southampton are following that part as it stands because they haven't won any game. There are only 3 teams that haven't won any game this season. Talking about Wolves, Southampton, and also I think is it not
4 of them: Crystal Palace, Ipswich Town, Southampton, and Wolves.
Their game against Tottenham last weekend, where Mateta got really good.
On the Monday, 1-0.
They have left them.
They played on Monday,
There are 3 teams left with a win in the Premier League.
All right, away from that game now, let's go straight into other matches. Wolverhampton Wanderers will now be playing against Crystal Palace. Now, just like rightly mentioned now, Crystal Palace were able to redeem themselves last weekend. So we hope that they go on this bounce and win their next game tomorrow as well against Wolverhampton Wanderers, another team yet to record a win in the English Premier League. Away from the English Premier League right now, let's go straight into the Spanish La Liga, where we see a couple of more matches that we played. Tomorrow, Osasuna will be hosting Real Valladolid, Girona will be hosting Leganés. The game between Villarreal and Rayo Vallecano has been postponed, as well as Valencia against Real Madrid due to the flash flood that has happened in Valencia. In the German Bundesliga, Bayern Munich will be hosting Union Berlin, Eintracht Frankfurt will be hosting VfL Bochum, Hoffenheim will be hosting St. Pauli, Kiel will be hosting FC Eindhoven, Wolfsburg will be hosting Augsburg, and Borussia Dortmund will be hosting RB Leipzig. Dortmund though, I don't know. They lost their German DFB Pokal game in the midweek, and it's not looking too good for this side under Nure Sahin.
Yes, that's what they are wanting, that we don't know what they will bring in a particular match. They are always on and off, especially in the league, where you expect Dortmund to get the maximum points.
I mean, their last 3 matches now they've lost. They lost in the Champions League. They lost in the Bundesliga against Augsburg. They lost in the DFB Pokal against Wolfsburg.
But this opponent, talking about RB Leipzig, is going to be an interesting match between both sides, because we know that RB Leipzig is kind of a battle between the strikers. If we are looking at Dortmund with Sergio Guirassy and also Benjamin Sesko, hopefully we get an interesting match. And I know that this Dortmund fan and Louis are at home. They are kind of a beast, because you know that the atmosphere at that particular stadium,
Signal Iduna Park,
that's why they call it one of the stadiums that
yellow walls, black and yellow.
You will get a lot of noise by the fans, and we hope we get an interesting match, because an interesting match is where we have a lot of goals, and I think that this match will give us that. I
also look forward to that. If you ask me, away from that to the Italian Serie A, Bologna will be hosting Lecce, Udinese will be hosting Juventus. Udinese they bottled the 2-0 lead during the midweek against Venezia. Venezia went on to win that game 3-2. That one ended. And for Juventus, they've been unbeaten in the league this season, but then they were being held to 2 consecutive draws now. One against Inter Milan, and the last one during the midweek against Parma. But then, what are they going to be doing against Udinese? We look forward to see. They'll be playing away from home though. The game is going to be at the Blue Energy Stadium. Still in the Italian Serie A, AC Monza will be hosting AC Milan. AC Milan too, another team that will be looking to redeem themselves, because they lost 2-0 to Napoli during the midweek match, while Monza lost out 2-0 to Atalanta as well.
Yes, for AC Milan, we saw them during the midweek against Napoli, where they lost. And this time around, hopefully their game during the weekend, they will be able to get it. But for Juventus, them having this kind of run of drawing games, we saw them against Inter. Which was quite surprising to see a Juventus side score 4. And I think there was one period that we saw
same thing that happened against Inter Milan too.
We saw Juventus drawing some games where it went goalless. But this time around, the draws that they are scoring, and which is quite exciting for
Sagumota is working.
But don't let us forget that the more draws you are having, the more opportunity you are giving a lot of the Conte side
to run away with the
league. And the way they are going, they also have a difficult task during this weekend against Atlanta. But you know that Conte, when he doesn't have European games to look at, it's just only the league. He tends to win the league at the end of the season.
All right, and away from that, now let's go straight into the freshly gone a couple of matches tomorrow. PSG will be hosting RC Lens. Lens lost their own last game against Olympique Lyon, while PSG won their own game against Olympique Marseille 3-0. That one ended. So yes, we are hoping that Paris Saint-Germain will continue in that form. Brest will also be hosting OGC Nice, and then Saint-Etienne will be hosting Strasbourg. Later this evening, in the German Bundesliga, Bayer Leverkusen will be hosting VfB Stuttgart at the Bay Arena. One game I'm looking forward to, because of Bayer Leverkusen, they need to up their game if they want to show us the type of stunt they pulled last season.
I think we all expected this from Leverkusen. They kind of used all their own energy to
play out through last season.
And to get that unbeaten throughout the season in the Bundesliga. But this kind of, I think that teams have known that when you are playing against the Bayer Leverkusen side, we know that we can score you. And it's just left for them to take an opportunity. We saw against, I think it was one of the promoted side where at some point they were 2 goals ahead. All of a sudden they lost our 2 goals and the game ended in the 2-2.
That was Austin Kiel.
Yes, I thank you for reminding me.
The game ended 2-2.
And now against the Stuttgart side, we see how Stuttgart are participating in the Champions
I think
League.
the only game Stuttgart have lost this season was against Bayern Munich.
And they lost 4-0. But this time around, Leverkusen, we know that they have goals in them. But defensively wise, that's where we all have the question mark. And hopefully they won't, because as a Nigerian, we know that we have our own, talking about Boniface. He's doing his own work,
as well as Tanteda.
But the defense are actually putting the team down. And I think Xabi Alonso, with all the OIP I've seen from, should be able to look for a solution when it comes to the defense line. And at the end of the day, it's going to be an interesting encounter between both sides.
All right, and other games in the Spanish Liga tonight as well. Deportivo Alaves will be hosting Mallorca, and that one is going to be about 8 p.m. Nigerian time. For Deportivo Alaves, they've been on not too good run of form, because the only win they've been able to get in the last 5 matches was in their Copa del Rey game against a team from the lower league. That's against Cospotela. While for Mallorca, they've also been having it mixed too. 1-3, lost 1, and drew their last game against Athletic Club. So yes, we look forward to all of these matches this weekend. Away from that, now let's take a couple of stories before we call it a wrap on the package for today. Sports Up Show 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. We already brought the news to you about Manchester United and also confirming their new manager Ruben Amorim. But let's take the words coming through from Mikel Arteta, who is now saying that the PGMOL rule over Godongo is now in the past and they are looking forward to the future. Mikel Arteta said he couldn't rewatch Anthony Gordon's controversial goal from Arsenal defeat to Newcastle last season, but he's believing that there's no lasting damage from his subsequent role with the PGMOL. Don't forget that as at that time, Arteta branded the incident embarrassing and a disgrace during that particular game. We hope that we don't see a repeat of that this time around.
Yes, I could remember that match. That match was.
It was fine,
in the night, and the only issue was that a certain camera was not able to capture that particular event. And at the end of the day, when you don't have a clear view of a particular situation, it's left for the referee to use his discretion, and that's what happened. And all those in the past, this is a game. They have Newcastle have collected their points. I think they won that by good to new. This is a new match entirely, and this is a new
season.
You have to factor in that. And like I already pointed out, if Arsenal is to challenge or stand a chance of winning the Premier League, these are the games that they have to win.
All right, now before we call it a wrap, I need us to talk about this game. It's going to be played tomorrow, but I like us to talk about I said tomorrow on Sunday. That is game between 2 games, by the way, in the English Premier League. One is Tottenham Hotspur hosting Aston Villa, 2 high-flying sides in the league this season, if you ask me. And then Manchester United will be at Old Trafford, and then they will be hosting Chelsea.
Yes, for Aston Villa, Tottenham for the past few games haven't been that up there. Even though they won their midweek game against Man City. Aston Villa, on the other hand, are one team that they're having a good season, looking at where they are. And I think that's one of the reasons why they lost during the midweek. And these are the 2 sides that lost to Crystal Palace under a week. One lost to Crystal Palace in the EPL, one lost during the Carabao Cup. And for Aston Villa, I think they are kind of focused on the Premier League. And that was why the reason why they did put a lot of firepower when it comes to the game against Crystal Palace. But looking at where Aston Villa is, they are 4th on the same point as Arsenal. And this is what we have seen from United. This kind of games, he kind of savage out, maybe a draw or a win. But for Ange and his boys, we saw the last time they played at home. They won that by 4-1. And I know that one thing I'm going to be guaranteed that there are going to be goals between both sides in this particular game.
As well as Man U hosting Chelsea too. Enzo Maresca, Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Maresca, at the beginning of this week, he said he has he went back to be watching good Valencia team. That's talking about PSV. But this is a different encounter. I'm not all excited. I knew that watching that game against Leicester during the midweek, there are still some loopholes in that particular United setup. But you know that one thing about big games, it's just the way, the mentality you instill at this particular player. These players are kind of happy to play for Rudy Van Nistelrooy. He saw Ahmad during the game
smiling when he was going to come on.
Casemiro too was showing what he has. But Kopama is one thing I want to point out here. This season, a lot of people have called him out to come and step up when it comes to big games. You saw the game against the team, he was lost. The game against Liverpool was also lost. And this is another big game. Last season, he stepped up for the Chelsea side after coming. They were losing by that game by 3-2. All of a sudden, he saw the Kopama magic, and he was able to score a trick and gave Chelsea the win by 4-3. But this time, they are going to be playing at Old Trafford. And United, the last time Chelsea won a game at Old Trafford against the United side, it was far back 2013. That's 11 years ago. So the start favors United in this particular game, but the start is just on paper. When it gets
they need to put it into play.
Those two teams will ignore all the stats and have to face what happened there in 90 minutes.
Well, we'll be back here tomorrow for more talks on the Sports Option 9 Radio 102.1 FM. I will give you more insightful analysis into the games that will be coming through tomorrow, Saturday, as well as on Sunday, because a couple more matches in the Spanish La Liga, as well as the German Bundesliga. And in the Italian Serie A, have a big match on Sunday as well. Napoli will be hosting Atalanta, a game that, of course, you can tell might just be deciding what is going to happen at the end of the season, because whoever picks a point in this game are going into the match week 11 in the Italian Serie A. Of course, you want to tell. Well, let's wrap up the show with this one coming through from Real Madrid. We knew that something like this was going to happen, but right now, Jude Bellingham is saying he's unhappy with his place at the club after recent signs of favoritism towards his teammate Vinicius Jr.
Like I said, I was expecting news like this to come out from the Real Madrid camp, because
it was obvious.
This past 1 week, you could see that they were all treated Vinicius to one side, supporting Vinicius Jr. Even Toni Kroos, who had retired, was also posting about supporting Vinicius Jr. But I know one thing about Ancelotti is his man-management skill. He's good at that, and hopefully there are no issues. They will also talk. Don't let us forget that when Mbappe was coming, they will also talk that is there going to be an issue between Mbappe and also Vinicius Jr. But now we are having 3 people. These players are.
I think, just like you mentioned, when Mbappe was coming, we knew something was going to happen as well. Look at Jude Bellingham now. He's now having some more of a defensive role in that Real Madrid system.
Since the time Toni Kroos left, that defensive part, player, just like we have with Oji, the player that can control the tempo of the game.
But we are not noticing him like last season. The goals are not there like when he first came
from
Borussia Dortmund.
What just changed was the transfer of Mbappe. I expected this, because when last season Real Madrid never had an out-and-out striker, or let me put it like this, a top striker, because they had a striker that was the former Espanyol striker Joselu, who was there. But now they are having a number 9 that we have seen that can still step up also the occasion.
But Mbappe as well does not always play to that number 9 role. He's always dancing to the flank.
But he's a number 9 when it comes to the formation. And that's the only issue we are having now. Assuming Real Madrid never brought in Mbappe, we are still going to see Bellingham play that first line, and it's going to be up
banging in the goals too.
Now he's having a different role entirely, and hopefully he's able to adjust, because the Bellingham we saw last season was explosive, but this time around he's kind of being caged because of the position he's playing.
Alrighty, Sports Option 9 Radio 102.1 FM. This is how much we're taking on the show for today. Many thanks to you for being a part of the show. Don't forget I'll be back here tomorrow between 2 p.m. down to 3 p.m. 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of rage, 1 hour of views, reviews, and interviews. I want to say a very big thank you to Adeni Obafemi Falana for joining us on the show today. He had to be somewhere and left us in the middle of the road. I mean, he put us in gear 1 and he left. And then to it, many thanks to you once again. Look forward to see you on the show again tomorrow, and of which we'll be preparing for the very big game coming through for Rudy Van Nistelrooy. That's Man U against Chelsea this weekend. One match you look forward to. I'm not going to ask you what are you looking forward to this weekend, because I know a lot of actions. Talk about Formula. I want to talk about basketball, which is one that I'll be discussing on the show as well tomorrow. Adedeji Ajiboye signing out this evening. Stay sporty, stay active, drink enough water to stay hydrated. It's a new month. Go out there, be the best best version of yourself. Remember to be kind, because kindness is cool. I'll see you on the other side. Good evening.
I know, and I love you too. This is why I've made it so that you can now have me everywhere you go. www.highimpactstudios.com. Press play. Links in our social media bio. Click at High Impact 1021 FM. Or you can just go the regular way. Turn on your radio and tune in to 102.1 FM.
We love you at High Impact Radio. Mwah!
See, there is no separating us now. This season, we are all over November.
And because of you, I get to goosebumps all over.
As we pull up to the last month of the year, the second to the last month of the year must make sense too. So anything with fun and excitement, count us in. Follow us on all our social media platforms at High Impact 1021 FM to see what we're up to, so that you too can be all over November.
This feeling got me falling all over.